I think we are done with these laptops, at least for now. Thank you. Yes, Mr. Khan.
Thank you, Chairpersons and Commissioners. Ms. Hassan. There are two issues presenting themselves before you this morning for consideration. The one issue, as formulated by the evidence leaders, is the question of the in-camera application. And the second issue, while distinct and pertinent, is intertwined to the first issue. The evidence leaders have indicated that notwithstanding the current circumstances in relation to General Khan, they wish to lead their evidence today due to time constraints. I'm going to address both these issues, if I may.
Just very, very quick, is it today? The leading of the evidence, will that be today? I understood we are hearing the evidence of some other witness today.
Chair, there is another witness who's scheduled, the in-camera witness L, this afternoon.
Yes.
So the directions we would seek would be for the chair to allocate a date to us. And with regard to the current schedule, I think that the soonest time you could hear me on General Khan's evidence is Friday, since we've just postponed Mr. Nku to tomorrow.
Yes.
Thank you.
So if you could make your submissions on the basis that what the evidence leaders are indicating is Friday, Mr. Khan.
Thank you very much, Chairperson.
Thank you.
This is the first that I hear of this change. It might have an impact on what I intend saying to you, because I might want to interact with Ms. Hassan and try and get some direction, and if necessary, postpone what I want to say to Friday morning. It will be a short address, but I might be able to clarify issues in advance with her, thereby saving the Commission some time. The first issue can be disposed of this morning, and it emanates from paragraph 10 of the opposing affidavit that was filed, was it yesterday? Yes. I'll just read the relevant portion. In the evidence leaders say the following. The evidence leaders accordingly invite General Khan and his attorneys to reformulate a better focused application having regard to the issues raised in the answering affidavit. Without going into the details of what and what may not be reformulated and what the concerns are, I accept the invitation and we'll do that, given the circumstances that we find ourselves in and the urgency with which the in-camera application was brought. So that disposes of the first issue. As regards the second issue,
Mr. Khan, what is the first issue that you say is now disposed of after you read from the answering affidavit?
That is our General Khan's application for an in-camera hearing, which was delivered on Sunday before the unfortunate incident. So the evidence leaders yesterday delivered an opposing affidavit, but it is a qualified opposing affidavit where they concede that there are potentially certain matters that may be sensitive and requiring considerations of in-camera application. But they, however, raise certain points in relation to the terms of reference and specifically what should be in camera as opposed to a blanket in-camera application. So, reading from what they say in their opposing affidavit, we accept their invitation that we better formulate what it is exactly that we want in camera, because we have made the concession that not everything ought to be in camera. There are other considerations emanating from this as well, which we've communicated to them, and we don't need to detain you with, but there might be a need for IDAC to comment on certain things that we wish to say. So it's a work in progress at this stage, and because of General Khan being indisposed, we believe that we can do a better job and present this application better considered by both legal teams before you.
Will this constitute, or is what is still to be filed, a supplemented affidavit, the application remaining the same?
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
Subject to the proviso that despite what is floating around in the media and doesn't bother us too much, that General Khan is actually unconscious, sedated, and we haven't been able to get access to him for purposes of further instructions in relation to this. So obviously the supplementary affidavit will arrive as and when we are able to present it.
Any further submissions? I just want to ask a quick question.
Yeah, there was an invitation for us to present medical evidence. We have now received the J88, which we will immediately make available to our colleagues, and there is a request.
Please continue.
There is a request by the family members.
Yes, Mr. Khan.
Yeah, it's a redacted J88. There is a request by the family members that I invite, given what is being said in the media and in the social media, and the concerns raised by the police, there's allegations that this is a contrived shooting, etc., and that General Khan is in fact lying relaxed in hospital eating jelly, that we invite the chairperson and or the further commissioners to have access to him in hospital and to speak to his medical attendants and verify and satisfy yourself that he is in fact in an extremely critical situation as set out in the J88.
My name is Khan.
Good morning, Commissioner.
It's just not clear to me what you want us to do with the current application. Do you want it to be postponed sine die while you supplement?
Absolutely.
And the idea, as I understand it, is that you are going to specify what you are referring to in prayer 2, because as it currently stands, it's too wide. So the idea is that you will specify it in line with the invitation in paragraph 10 of the answering affidavit.
Absolutely, it's that.
So the current application as it stands will be postponed sine die.
Correct.
And then the second issue, it doesn't affect this application because the application was about Mr. Khan himself giving evidence in camera and not what the evidence leaders intend to do on Friday. But you say you need time to discuss with Advocate Hassim so that you have clarity in terms of what is it exactly they intend to do on Friday.
Yes.
Have I understood you correctly?
Yes, if we are able to come to some agreement on what happens on Friday, great. But if we're not, then we would like to obviously address you further on Friday morning as to how the procedure unfolds.
All right.
Thank you.
By when will this, let me just loosely call it a supplement, by when will that be filed?
Chairperson, Advocate Khan, as I've indicated, is...
General
Khan.
General.
Sorry. This... I noticed yesterday that the media indicated that I'm General Khan's younger brother, which I'm not. So, yes, General Khan. Both my attorney and I is sedated. He's got tubes coming out of his mouth, abdomen. His doctors have restrained the number of visitors that he may receive. I've brought photographic evidence for the commissioners, and again we invite the commissioners to attend at his hospital to satisfy yourselves as to his condition. He's certainly not a person who's lying in bed, awake, enjoying his hospitalization and able to give us instructions. So briefly to answer your question, I cannot commit to when this supplementary affidavit will become available. Of course, this supplementary affidavit talks to his ability to testify. So if he's unable to testify, he's most certain, well, if he's unable to commission a supplementary affidavit, he's most certainly unable to testify. So they go hand in hand.
We as the commission are not necessarily bound by what the evidence leaders said, which is what you've referred to as an invitation, which you say you accept. Nothing stops us if we were so minded. I'm not saying that we are, but nothing stops us from dismissing the application outright on the basis, for example, of vagueness. And I must tell you outright that I feel that the application is very vague. For example, I have no idea altogether whether what General Khan is asking for is only for evidence relating to the Eratin bust to be aired publicly. So I don't know whether that is what he is saying. All that can be heard publicly is Eratin and nothing more. If that is the case, the affidavit does not explain why everything else is out of bounds in terms of being aired publicly. There's nothing there altogether. For example, let's take what is contained, just one example, the communications between General Khan and Mr. Sayed. Let me not get into the detail of what those say. You know what they say, and they are out there in the public domain. But the point is, looking at those, at face value, those appear to be private communications between Mr. Sayed and General Khan, without an explanation as to why those raise security or intelligence issues or confidential issues. I'm completely at a loss. I'm completely in the dark. So, one, perhaps you should answer the question whether indeed the application is suggesting that all that may be heard publicly is the Eratin bust. Is that so or not?
No, it is not so.
Then
So-
what more then may be heard publicly?
Yes. So, of course, Chairperson, the application must be viewed in its correct context. And part of the context, and I do not wish to detain you more than is necessary, part of the context is that as late as last week, we received something like 370,000 line items of WhatsApp messages.
Yes.
The evidence leaders in their affidavit seem to intimate, well, it's your WhatsApp messages, you should know about it. There are considerations such as the authenticity of the messages, whether they are altered, we don't know, whether they have been, whether the chain of command has been retained, we don't know. We've invited access, and these are all the events before Sunday night. We've invited supervised access to the devices. That has not been forthcoming. So we have considerations, and my attorney's done a calculation, surprisingly, that if we were to spend 10 seconds reading each WhatsApp message, it'll take us about 200 days to get through all of them. So in that light, we ask for the indulgence that we have the opportunity, and the evidence leaders have, for all intents and purposes, acknowledged this, that we be given the opportunity in the fullness of time to better formulate this application and to allow us the opportunity to place full information before the Commission. Suffice to say, as late as this weekend, we received another 11,000 pages of bank statements with the explanation that, well, it's your bank statement, you should know what's in it. We, of course, need to go through this, and because we are now hamstrung, there is an amount of delay. We ask the Commission, and correctly so you have pointed out, that you are not bound by what the evidence leaders say. We ask you for that indulgence, given the extraordinary circumstances that we are faced with presently. We hope to be able to move matters forward and to better present ourselves before you. And it's simply an indulgence at this point in time.
What you are addressing now, with the exception of the bank statements about which I've not seen anything in writing, but the rest of what you say, the number of texts, the thousands or even hundreds of thousands of texts, the thousands of pages and so on, if I understood the application correctly, you raise those issues in the context of seeking condonation for the lateness of the application. That has nothing to do with the question that I asked, which is, what is confidential or relates to state security, relates to intelligence? What is it in the application? You have detailed all of the things that you have detailed, and none of that addresses the question that I put to you. I hope you understand. Also, and of importance, is that even if you complain about this material that you say was delivered late, General Khan, through your assistance, I assume, has brought an application for an in-camera hearing, stating, as a matter of fact, he doesn't say there's a whole lot of material or stuff that's still outstanding. He has come to this commission asking for an in-camera hearing on the basis of state security, confidentiality, intelligence matters, investigative ways by the intelligence operatives, all of which should not be aired publicly. So he took himself or understood himself to have facts to come to this commission. That has nothing to do with the material you have just placed before us. Because if that was the issue, then he would not have been ready to bring the application. So my point about the application being vague stands.
Yes.
And you have to respond to that if you wish to. Please
Thank you.
do.
So, Chairperson, you will note that this application was brought at a late stage on Sunday evening, whilst all these events were unfolding. But, to answer your question, General Khan is not here to testify today, and the commissioners have to unpack what is in the current application. There is room to breathe, to fix up what is currently a lacuna in the application, and I concede that before you. If you were to close the door without offering us a better opportunity in this
But at the very least, Mr. Khan, you should be able to explain the basis on which the application was brought in the first place.
Yes. So,
for example, the application in so many words refers to the relationship between General Khan and Mr. Syed, and I think it's the only example it actually touches on. I may be wrong. So it does refer to that, and all it does is to talk about context and how the intelligence system bears relevance to that relationship. But are we to take General Khan on his word on that? We cannot. We cannot grant the application on his word. There's some context. What context? There's some bearing. What bearing? We are completely in the dark. We cannot grant an application like that. So it's on that basis that I say, why did General Khan come before us? At that stage, he was well. He had not been shot. And by the way, let me place it on record that the Commission has, in so many words, expressed its words.
and condolences. Thank you, Commissioner.
I've only heard but I'm a third language English speaker. I've only heard